ready. What's up, Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, and everybody here? Oop. Good. Meerkat. Yeah, it's better that we're doing it sideways now. Someone said hello, April Fools. Yeah, this isn't an April Fools. Tai, write a book. Boom. Who here wants to launch a business, a new business or a new product in your existing business in under 30 days? Or maybe 3 days or 2 days? Juan says, shout out. First person on my Facebook. 4X. Somebody said they want to launch a business. Somebody said, Tai, you are so fire. Shout out. My dad needs help. Hello from the Ukraine. You're my twin. What locations do we have here? Anybody from Russia? Anybody from Brazil? Any Australians? I don't know why this says restaurant. Appreciate. Hello from Chicago, Toronto, Russia, Richmond, Augusta, Georgia, Mount Rushmore, Chi-Town, Dallas, Orange County, Indianapolis, New York, Wisconsin, Latvia, Brazil. Cool. Tai, you're live in South Carolina. Okay, let's go right into this. I'm going to give you some tips right here. Who's ever had an idea, or who has a current business but you need to launch a new product? I'm going to show you how to do it real quick. I'll give 5 ways to launch your new business or a new product in under 30 days. How do you do that? How many people are existing entrepreneurs? Say your business, what you're doing, what are we going? What do we have here? Somebody says, Tai, I have over 30 ideas. Ideas are good, but they're not businesses. Remember, businesses are things that have cash flow. Money flows into your bank account every day, every week, every month. Food truck, t-shirt market, hair industry, consulting and event management business, selling shirts on Teespring, e-commerce, feeding starving children, Amazon, 2 e-commerce companies, eBay, Jamgo, a social music app for musicians, chain restaurant, medical fitness, farming, travel site, biopharma, musician, law, lawn care, building an app, plumbing, Instagram marketing, painting, Christian social media platform, bartering website, online course. What else do we have? The tire business. Somebody wants to launch a car company, high-end skincare, asphalt door sealing. Somebody's releasing 4 information products a year. Popsiclestand.net, e-commerce. Loose leaf tea, SoundCloud, designing the new product. A levitating casino. Tai, watch the live call Tai did yesterday with 2 German people. Yep, those guys are killing it in Germany. So many people doing business. If you are an employee or an entrepreneur, you're going to learn something today. You can also apply this even if you have another job. Even if you have a current job, you can create extra income using the stuff we're going to talk about. Somebody said solar panels, nootropic supplements. Somebody made $1,000 just on the side with an Instagram marketing business. Somebody said they're 15, they make $200 a month, school selling gum and Oreos. Credit repair business. Tire business, catering business, network marketing, design. Okay, so let's, why is this important to you? In the next hour, I'm gonna only do an hour today. In the next hour or so, I'm gonna show you 5 things that'll help you launch much quicker, that'll give you a chance at growing what you're already doing if it's brand new. If you're already doing something, or launch something brand new. And then I'll open up my accelerator in about 45 minutes for those of you who want to do. I have a 4-month training program in this. So I'm going to give you a 45-minute one. and then I got to go do some stuff. But if you want to do my home study course, it's a paid program. I'll open that up a little bit later. It's an application-based product, and I only like to open it up now. Mostly I open it up when I do these live calls. That way I can interact with people, answer their questions and stuff. Okay, the first thing you have to know, right here, numero uno. If you want to launch your new business or a new product, this can also be a product because you might already be an entrepreneur. Number one, and this is simple, it's 2016. The rules have changed. You need to understand that. Let me actually, I forgot to Snapchat that I'm live right now. Let me do that so people can find out. Hey Nathan, when you guys see Nathan, can you tell him, Sean, find Nathan for me, please. I'm doing a live stream right now on my website and on Facebook. 5 ways to launch a new business or a new product in under 30 days. Tip number 1, it's 2016, the rules changed. Everything changed. Hold on one second. Let me caption this. Did you post that on, whatchamacallit, on Buffer? Okay, post that on Buffer now. So it and just do share now, the Einstein thing. Just do a short caption like, which do you believe in, or something like that. Which one are you? Okay, what do I mean? Why is that important? First tip, man, most people who are doing business stuff, they're learning from their grandparents, they're learning from people who went to business school in the 1970, 1980, and I'm not saying you shouldn't respect old school wisdom. You should, but you got to combine it with new trends, the new world that we live in, which is much more fast-paced. People getting bored quickly. All your potential customers are getting bored very quickly, and they're bombarded by new products at all times. So if you're not following the new rules, you can be in big trouble. You're gonna launch and it's gonna fail, or it's gonna be subpar and just be static. Somebody said, Tai, my father taught me stuff about this since I was a kid, and now I know what he's talking about. Yeah, well, just remember, what worked for your dad 40 years ago, a lot of that stuff doesn't apply anymore. The general overview maybe, but not the specific. Can you guys put the stats up there on the side? Okay. Okay. What are some of the rules that have changed? I'm gonna write them right here. A, B, C. A, speed has changed. B, infrastructure. And C, reward. What do I mean by that? A, speed. I'm seriously contemplating doing a little challenge. What's up? Where I launch a new business a day. Launch 365 businesses in 1 year. Just because, why would I do that? I like to experiment. And I want to see if I launch 365 businesses in a year, if I can get all of them at least to 7 figures. Okay? So that'd be, you know, if I can, I don't know if I can do it, but I like a challenge. For sure, 6-figure businesses, 7-figure. That'd be $365 million in new business revenue if you could do it. We'll see if I can. I don't know if I have time to do it right now, but my point being, speed. You couldn't do that 30 years ago, before the internet, before digital world. You could, what are you gonna open up? I mean, you theoretically could have a McDonald's franchise and open up 365 franchises in a year, but even that would be hard because it was physical property. You had to put in, you know, all the kitchen stuff in a new restaurant, and that is time, time consuming. So the world we lived in and the world we live in now have changed so much around the speed. And what happens is I meet all these people that they're in the 2016 era, but their speed and their time frame is still like, okay, I'm gonna make a business plan this month. The next month I'm gonna, refine the business plan. The third month I'm gonna do more research and blah, blah. And the next thing you know, they're doing it it takes them 6 to 12 months to launch a business. But if you guys have been watching my Snapchat, I had some guys here that they're two 18-year-old guys, and that damn Daniel viral video that was out, they quickly, within like a week or two, launched an app, a damn Daniel free app, and it went to #1 in the world. Now, if they had waited and said, old school, let's build a big business plan, let's do a lot of research, let's raise capital over 5 years, over 5 months, somebody else would have done it and beat them to it. So if you want to compete, you got to get speedy. And this really comes down to a lot of people are procrastinators in the world. A lot of people can't make good decisions. You want to launch a business in the next 30 days. You want to change your lifestyle. You want to increase and improve your life. You have to be able to decide and move on. Now, the next one, infrastructure has changed. The new rules of infrastructure. The old rules where most businesses were bricks and mortar. If you're shipping a product, you needed a warehouse. And you had to own the warehouse generally, because there wasn't communication that would connect you with other warehouses. There wasn't email and things. You had to have a lease on a building usually. You had to have all W-2 employees working for you. Well, new rules, the infrastructure's completely changed. Now, because of servers and technology, you're talking, you can build a sophisticated business. Even WhatsApp, which sold for $20 billion, I think WhatsApp only had under 50 employees. To make a $20 billion company, that's never happened in history. In the 1970s, 80s, 90s, even the 2000s, to build a billion-dollar company, you needed at least 10,000 employees, or at least thousands, okay? And so your infrastructure, it's a much better world. You don't need to have much infrastructure now to just launch. And then lastly, reward. In the past, the reward for being good at launching businesses, in general, you'd be able to retire well. You'd launch a business, by the time you turn 60, 70 years old and you went to retire, you'd get a nice pension check. You might be making $100,000 a year or 200,000. But now the reward, you have guys like Evan Spiegel. He launches Snapchat. It takes him a few years, and he's a billionaire before he's 23. That's the reward has changed. Now there's good and bad. I'm going to give you the pro and con real quick. The pros of that are obviously the stakes are much higher for you. You can live. You don't even have to be as big as Snapchat. Your idea, you don't have to be that successful, and you can still have a badass life and a badass reward financially. The cons, and here's the cons, and I'm gonna just show you. This is number 2. It's my segue to number 2. 5 ways to launch your business. Understand that it's 2016 and the rules have changed. Understand these rules. That's number 1. Number 2, you have to understand you need an edge. Why? A, competition increasing. Why? Easy. Globalization of knowledge. There's no more discrimination. Has dropped. There's still discrimination, but not as much. Racism, all this stuff has dropped. Sexism, this is all on the decline. Now it's still there, but it's on the decline compared to the 1960s or something, or 1920s, where people couldn't vote and all that. Globalization and digital internet. So what do I mean? Let me explain if you're lost here. You need an edge now. And most people, the other day I'm starting to do a show that's a little bit like Shark Tank, where people submit their ideas and I give feedback, and maybe I'll invest in a few of them during a year, not all of them, but and one thing I noticed is a lot of people are coming to me with good business ideas. They're gung-ho, they're hard workers, but they have no edge. And so I'm like, the odds are against you. Without an edge, you're in massive trouble. Why? Right here. Globalization. You right now, any kid in India who's on this live call, because I'm gonna have, let's see, we have 4 different places we're streaming. When I'm done with this in about an hour, I'll probably have at least 30 to 40,000 people watch this in 72 countries. globalization and the democratization and equalization of good knowledge. So now you might say, I'm going to launch a t-shirt business, but did you know that you don't have to live in America to launch an American online t-shirt business? One of the guys in my paid program, he's made $3 million net last year. He's from India originally. Now he lives in the United States. His name is Sean. He actually did a talk. We have it up somewhere on my YouTube or something. And for him, he realizes now somebody in Bangladesh, somebody in Australia, somebody in Europe, somebody in Sweden, like you name the place, Brazil. If they're watching this, they get inspired, they focus down, there's three things you need. You need access, ideas, and tools. I'll talk about that later. If they have the access, idea, and tools, and you don't have an edge over them, this globalization is going to wipe you out. You see that with huge companies in America just disappearing because of globalization. The next reason is discrimination, racism, sexism, all these things are on the decline. What do I mean? Well, it's clear. Now, I'm not saying there's no racism, sexism, but just think of this. In the 1950s, if you were the wrong color, you weren't even going in a bathroom. That doesn't happen anymore, at least in the US. There's still racism, but not to that extent. And more importantly, when we're talking about business, if you launch an online business, for example, nobody cares because they can't see you. So you could be a woman, you could be black, you could be gay, no one sees you. So what that means now is the labor pool in 1920 was less competitive. Why? Women couldn't be in it in most countries. Now you're competing against everybody, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing that women in every color and every gender and all that, it's good, but you have to deal with the reality. That means there's an increased number of people. Not only is it global, but there's smart female entrepreneur, who are broke, but they have access to the third thing. They got the internet. And if you don't have an edge, they're going to be able to do whatever you want to do, and they're going to be able to do it faster, better, less expensive, and you're going to be locked out. And if in the next 30 days you want to launch a business, okay, somebody says, Tai, the only color that matters now is green. I don't know if that's true, but there is some truth to that. It's a better time to be alive, but what's your edge? So if somebody said, Tai, what's your edge? I mean, now, and in my business, I started in business when I was 19 with a mentor named Joel Salatin. And I've had some successes and some failures like everybody. And the successes I've had were always where I had an edge. Even now, people say, well, what's your edge? Well, now I have a big social media following. So that's an edge. I can launch businesses very quickly because I already have 100 million people who see my stuff every year. More than 100 million, but let's just say 100 million. So that's an edge. There could be somebody else in a different part of the world that has the internet, that has all that stuff. We're back to having the head drawn. And so for me, my edge is that thing. I can launch a business and instantly have millions and millions of people see it. I haven't always had that edge though. I'll give you guys some examples of different edges. Now this leads me to the third thing here. I guess this is B, C, D. Okay. The third thing that this leads to is in order to launch a successful business, because I'm not talking about in the next 30 days launching a crappy business. That's easy to do. It's easy to fail. Okay? It's a little bit harder to succeed. Harley said, what are your shoes of the day? Yep, here's my shoes. I got these are custom made Kyrie Irvings. They have my business my business on them, business logo. It's kind of cool. If you're on my website, can you zoom wide? I'll show them. It's harder to show here. Here they are. These are the Kyries. Kyrie 2s, I think. Oh shit, I just put a marker on my pants. Oh, that's good. We got it. That worked, yeah. So your edge. What constitutes an edge, and how can you get one? Very important. What is an edge? How do you get it? An edge is simply what Warren Buffett calls a moat. Imagine here's you. Here's you right here. Boom. And imagine when you launch your business in the next 30 days. Are we back to having this drone over here, Nathan? Hey, Mike. Get Mike and Nathan. Yeah. So here's you. The second you launch a business, let's represent your business, whatever it is. A restaurant, a t-shirt business, a consulting company, whatever you do. Other people are going to see your success and rush in. It's kind of like Vikings. They're going to come try to steal from you. Boom, 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 boom. Now you're here. You need a moat. And in ancient times, they used to have a moat with like crocodiles or piranha or just deep water. And people had a hard time crossing over. It's like the walls of your castle. Those are crazy. There's a little thingy over here. Hey, you want to walk over and see what's up? Oh. Okay. But you want to go over there with, remember what we did last time? Yeah. And Pete and a couple other people. Just see what's up. So if that's you, mark my words. Warren Buffett says the second you launch something successful, you know what's going to happen? Somebody's going to copy you. Right? So what are you going to do? This is my question for you. The moat is your edge, but how do you build one? And I have this here. We have somebody said patent. That's good. A trademark, a license. I have a friend that guy has a license with the NBA. He has the official license. The only person in the United States that can put LeBron James and Steph Curry and all these basketball players. He can literally put their clothing, their face on. It's not clothing, but I won't say what businesses it is. But he can put their face on his business stuff, and that's an edge. Intellectual property, that's one. So let me ask you this. What is your edge right now? Let's see what it is. A license. But be specific as you can. Tai, how can I launch my business with alkaline antioxidant water? Right here. Somebody says their brain. Yeah, that's not really an edge. It's somewhat of an edge, but there's a lot of smart people out there. If you're only relying on that. Somebody said lead funnels. Okay. That's good. A lot of people have access to lead funnels. What else do you have? Somebody said their cousin had an apparel company and somebody stole charm, creativity. Let's see. I don't know. A trademark. That's better. To be first in the market. No, that's not that's rarely an advantage. For example, the first social network in the world was Friendster. Then came MySpace. Then came Facebook. The only one that made a ton of money was Facebook. So the first mover made nothing. What else? A mentor, credentials, media, good timing. Whew, these are okay. Motivation, spreading the love, customer service. Oh, none of these are super good, except the trademark one. Advanced technology, Nicholas said. That is one. Brandon said his ability to network. Somewhat, maybe. That, the person said their cousin now got a trademark. Street smarts, computers, being prepared. All right. If you notice, most people here are doing mental ones, and that is somewhat helpful. It depends on what the mental thing is. But let me give you what I think are the best things that constitute an edge. Tools, and by that, I'm generally talking about technology. B, I'm talking about ideas, and I'm not talking about just being creative. I'm talking about hard to replicate puzzle solving ideas. For example, right now, somebody had an idea on how to make Coca-Cola, the soda, and that's an idea that very few people know how to make Coca-Cola. Like, they've tried to copy it, it's not that easy. So that's an idea. tools and technology is like Elon Musk. He has Tesla, the car company. If you and I said, oh, he has Tesla, let's launch our Tesla business, it'd be very hard. We don't have the robots that can build the car. We don't have the technology and the engineers. So he has a lot of tools. And then the third one is access. And this becomes, you know, I interviewed Larry King and I said, how did you become this famous TV guy? And he said, well, somebody introduced me to Ted Turner, the billionaire, when I was like 22 years old. So he got access that very few people have. Nimi Burney, what's up, Nimi? He was at my conference, said, Tai, my edge is being in your paid accelerator program. Cool. That is an edge because that's tools, and it also gives you access. So this is people skills right here. And not just, I'm going to give you this is kind of a scary thing. A friend of mine, Keith Ferrazzi, who wrote a book called Never Eat Alone, it's like a book on how to be better at networking, he said it doesn't count as a contact in your phone unless they will smile when you text them. So let's say you go to some event and you get somebody to give you their phone number, right? But they hardly remember who you are. That's not really a networking contact. A networking contact is somebody who smiles and goes, oh man, you know, that's awesome. And very few people have the people skills and the access to the right people. I hope you get that, because like the old saying goes, it's not just what you know, it's who you know. So I have some friends that have really good ideas, they have cutting edge, you know, brain power, but they don't have any technology. The answer is you have to have all three of these at once. You can't have one. Having one is like having one shoe. You can't play basketball with one shoe on and one shoe off. You can't do any sport. Maybe if you're a football kicker.
Yeah, I was just a kid when I was stopped my phone.
You were up there. How old was you? Just tell him. Don't just buzz it around where he is. Sorry, I'm going to eat a little bit. This will piss somebody off, but I love pissing annoying people off anyway, because then they leave. Somebody said they want some wings. Okay, let's get a list so I can eat without talking with my mouth open. What are some technology tools that you have that not many people have? What is a hard to replicate puzzle solving idea that you have? And who are some people, high level people you can text and they will literally smile when they see you text? Let's do this. Pick one. Somebody said technology, they have Excel. Okay, but a lot of people have that. If you just say you have a laptop, 1 billion people have it. What else? Oh, iPad mini that you bought me. Oh, you won one of our prizes. Cool. Part of the OMG program, learning to sell on Amazon. Mobile optimized page. Back office online.
Can you unlock this?
Yeah. Dale Carnegie. Microsoft Office. I'm waiting for some amazing ones. Come on. iPad mini. Samsung watch. An organized team using Slack. Okay. That's decent. Which of these do you have? Somebody has a 3D printer. Technology. Social media. Now here's the thing about social media. That is a tool. It gives you access, but a lot of people have it. So it's got to be a little bit rare. Followers. If you have a lot of followers, that's rare. If you have 100,000 Instagram followers, that's definitely a tool that few people have.
It's okay to post.
No.
No?
No, that one's traumatic for me. Candace, you texted her?
I texted her. She said
Just now?
Yeah.
No, that can never get out. That is the worst picture. You didn't think that's a traumatic one?
I thought it was funny.
I did a face swap. Woo! With me and Kenna. That's an ugly boy. My face on her. Did you see it on my Snapchat? Show Josh. This may be the worst picture ever taken of me.
It's not your face, right?
It's like Kenna's face on mine, but look at my face on hers. Look how bad it looks. I'm like, am I that ugly? You see it? Oh. A CRM filled with influential people. Okay.
Oh, man, that's... Whoa. It didn't replace the jawline properly.
Yeah.
The jawline.
Doesn't it look horrible? Somebody says they speak Mandarin Chinese. Okay, that's good. That's in the idea category. Hard to replicate puzzle. The puzzle of speaking Chinese is very hard. Languages, a little Arabic. Where's the peanut butter dipping sauce? I had some peanut butter. I thought it was like peanut sauce. It turned out just to be peanut butter. A proprietary algorithm. That's good. What is the algorithm? Is a coding program. Okay. We'll keep moving here. Trust me, if you have all three of these in high supply, you'll be able to launch a business in the next 30 days or launch a new product and make a ton of money. If you only have a few of these, you're gonna make just a little bit of money. Hey, Booker. Booker, come here. Want some food? Bookie. Booker. You like that? He's gonna go nuts now. Gave him a piece of shit. No, Booker. No way. He will eat all those chicken wings. He loves chicken. Don't give him too much of this. He's gonna be a big dog. I'm worried. Yeah, but he didn't care. Dogs are tough. Somebody said, hi, I'm from Iran. What's the best business over here? No matter where you live in the world, it doesn't matter. You can do an internet business from Iran, from Brazil. No one knows where you're from. Okay. I want you to give yourself a rank. 1 to 10. Tools. The tools that you can use right now. Technology. Rare tools that are very effective for you to make more money. 1 to 10. What are you? I would say I'm a 8. Maybe a 9. 8 or 9. I spent $10 million building my own software to run my own businesses. So it's very rare. No one else has it. Somebody says they're a 10 plus. 3, 6, 1, 4. Amber, you have a 10? What technology do you have? Remember, it has to be rare. You can't say you have an iPhone. Booker. Booker. Sit. No. Wait, don't want to come. Okay. There, Booker. Okay. Booker. Come here. Alright, that's all. Take them away. 0. We got all these people saying 10 plus. What is a 10 plus? What do you guys have? Do you have like NASA software or something? Face recognition software. Gonna sell it to law enforcement. Okay. An 8. Let's do the second thing. 1 to 10. Hard to replicate puzzle solving ideas and solutions in your brain. Like Elon Musk knows how to put somebody in space. That's a 10. If you work at Starbucks, you know how to hand somebody coffee. That's like a 2. That's why a 2 only makes minimum wage or whatever. So 1 through 10. What are we at? We have a 2, a 9, a 9, a 2, a 9, a 5, a 4. Somebody said a farm-to-table tea company. Okay? And let's do this third one right here. Access. Hello. You guys want to say hello on this live call? People are like, we need people in the pool. You guys want to jump in the pool? No, just say hello for 1 second. They're tired of seeing my face. Somebody says they have quantum Here, I'll turn this.
Okay.
Say hello.
Oh, hi.
You guys gonna jump in the pool with your iPhone in your pocket?
Can I post this one?
Yeah, post that one.
It's
Cool.
weird being on the other end. I know.
Weird being on the other end?
Yeah.
I would shake her. I'll come shake her. I'll
Okay.
come talk to you guys later, but
All right.
not right now.
Okay.
Somebody said do a cannonball. Anti-gravity technology. Somebody said shorties on fleek. That made another person say laughing my ass off. Every time I watch Tai, all I think about is reading books and eating broccoli. Why do I make you think about broccoli, man? Last one. Access. High-level people that smile when you text them. 1 to 10. 10 is if you can text the President of the United States and, you know, Bill Gates, and he'd be like, oh, damn, I got to get back to this guy real fast, or girl. Somebody says they can text their mom. That doesn't count as a 10. 5, 7. Somebody wrote back to the girls. Hey, somebody wrote back to you guys and said, Charlotte, have them peek out for a second. I gotta tell you what this... Hey, somebody has a comment. They said, can you guys come back on the camera? This guy's so ugly. That was it. No, you guys don't really have to come out. I was just telling you that. They thought I was so ugly. They're like, please bring the girls back. I could do a face swap. Face swap. Guys, anytime somebody says you're ugly, be like, that means I'm gonna make more money. Ain't no good-looking guy make any damn money. Trust me. They're too busy. They're too distracted with women. You gotta be ugly enough that at some point you can't go out and you got to sit at home and think like Bill Gates and lock yourself in a room. Somebody wrote, that's the longest ha 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 I've ever seen on a comment. It's like this long.
I'm gonna use this one because you don't have to leave till.
Yeah.
But do you mind? It's an hour and 15 till we talk, but I'll go early, so you'll be all set. You won't have to leave for your bags or anything. Is that okay?
You mean instead of me being there earlier?
The benefit of this one is you get there earlier, but I think it's fine for you to
Wait,
land.
what's the Burbank one?
It was 12 to 5 p.m. and you do not want that, or 3:45 p.m.
I just do the 12 at Burbank.
Okay.
I get sick.
As long as you're gonna wake up early, you'll have to leave at like 10:30 from the house. So maybe you have to wake up at like 9. That's my only concern right now.
And that one's 2:30.
Yeah. That one you would have your regular
All right,
days.
do that.
Okay, and then we'll fly back into Burbank. In the future,
Yeah.
I'll speak
Okay.
to Burbank Airport about having more flights.
I'll speak to them. Somebody said, hi, Ty's friend. That's not my friend. Somebody said, Ty, never felt so good to be ugly.
I'm gonna snap the books of the day.
Yeah, but did you post that video? Instagram? Okay. Maya is A10. What does A10 even mean? Oh, A10. I thought you were saying like A1 steak sauce or something like that. This guy said, I'm hot and I'm smart. Anybody who says that, let me tell you my experience, guys. Any girl that says she's hot is not ever going to be as hot as you thought she'd be. All truly hot girls don't say anything. Trust me. Always 7s say they're hot. I mean, they're cute. Girls that say they're hot are usually cute. Girls that are actually hot, they don't talk about it that much. Somebody said, that is true. Somebody wrote, they already know. Exactly. It's kind of like, if you guys see my Snapchat, I do Muay Thai kickboxing with Joe Schilling. He's the 3-time world champion in Muay Thai, or I think he's 2-time Muay Thai, 1-time kickboxing, or the other way. Anyway, he's a gangster dude. In terms of a street fight, I've been around a lot of professional fighters. I think Joe Schilling would be my least favorite guy to get in a fight with. And he doesn't talk that much. He'd be one of those dudes in a fight that you would just come up to him and be like, yo, what's up, man, what's up? And the next thing you know, you'd be on the floor. So it's kind of like that with all areas of life. Let's move on to the next one. That's number 3. We got 2 more, then I gotta go. Any questions on these? Questions on these? What are you drinking? This is a meal replacement. I'm getting ready to launch a meal replacement business. Somebody said Kanye West needs someone to invest in his ideas. Not me. Kanye's dating the Kardashians. He'll be good. Somebody said, is that a carrot? It is. I'm glad you're able to recognize what carrots look like. What else would it be? It's an orange, crunchy vegetable. Sorry I missed most of the call. Just closing my new restaurant. Hot sauce fan. So you launched a new hot sauce? That's cool. I want to get in the hot sauce business. Basically, here's my deal. And let me show you this for the next one. Here's a formula for life success and happiness, fulfillment, and money, all at the same time. I think I need to pull this a little closer. There we go. Number 4, what kind of business should you launch? What kind of product should you launch in the next 30 days? If I launch, I'm not saying I'm going to do this, but I'm contemplating it seriously. 365 businesses launch in 365 days. It'd be a cool book, right? Wouldn't that be a cool book, like 365? And be like, how I launched 365 businesses in a year. Would you buy that book? Anybody? And then it would tell you all the good things and the bad things, what you learned. Somebody said maybe, me. Okay, here's the type of business to launch. Launch something, this is my rule, that you would do anyway. This is such a good formula. If you notice, all the businesses and things that I launch, there's stuff that I do anyway. I wear t-shirts, so I'll launch a t-shirt business. I wear shoes. I'm working on launching a shoe review business company. It's hard to get enough food in a day in terms of if you're trying to gain muscle, so usually you drink some kind of a shake, meal replacement, protein shake. So I would do that anyway, so I'm launching that as a business. I work out, so I'm launching a fitness, kind of like a P90X competitor business. I would spend time with mentors anyway, just so I would grow. So I turned that into a business. I study business techniques, so I turned that into the accelerator. The exact same training I do to build my businesses, I was like, what if I just charge $1,000 and give it to people in the world? What would happen? Boom, new business. I launched that in May last year. I've done that my whole life. And when you do that, not only will you make money, okay, but even more importantly, you'll live a badass life. A life that people go, ooh, I wish I lived your life. I know people richer than me. I live in Beverly Hills, man. This street right here has money on it. I live in the real part of it. There's some part of Beverly Hills, not the real part of Beverly Hills. There's like, they call it Beverly Hills adjacent. It's like where every actor or whatever lives that wants to say they live in Beverly Hills. This street is real Beverly Hills. So you have billionaires all around here, billionaire row. So there's people that have more money than me, but they don't necessarily, I wouldn't trade for their life. And some of them would trade for my life. And the reason is because I just always followed this principle. Launch something that you would do anyway. Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. Look at your life right now. What are the things you're doing right now? What are the problems you're encountering? So it can be around positive or negative. So problems. If you've heard my TED Talk, I did a TEDx talk. It's now number 15 in ever. It's the most 50, and it's on its way to moving up to the top. I won't say what number, but the top TEDx of all time. What's up? That was a great TED Talk. If you even never watched my TED Talk,
Yeah.
You did?
50%.
did you like it? You liked it? I hate watching my own stuff, so I never watch. I've only watched my own TED Talk once. I don't even think I could watch the whole thing. The only thing I watch of mine is my
It
Snapchat.
starts with everybody wants the good life, but not everybody gets it.
I don't know where I came up with that line on an airplane. I was like, I got to give this talk in 1 hour. But number one thing, in that TEDx talk, I talk about a problem that I had when I was 16 or 17. I was not able to, I couldn't find any mentors. I couldn't find people with good answers. So I started traveling around the world with my own money. When I was 19, I made $12,500 in 1 year from my first business. And I went around and somebody said, Ty, did you get rich by selling seminars? No, but it's a good way for some people to get rich. I didn't do it. I've only done about 8 seminars in my life, maybe 10. But hey, if you can get rich doing seminars, more power. Some people, I'm gonna tell you a funny thing, this little comment. Some of you are gonna make money and people are gonna make fun of you for how you made it. And just ignore them. Unless you did something illegal or unethical, just ignore them. One of the richest guys in the world, Wayne Huizenga, he made it in the trash business. He made a trash company and he became a billionaire. Then he started Blockbuster Video. Would you laugh at him? Would you be like, oh, this dude makes money in trash? Hey, I'd rather make money in trash, make $1 billion taking out people's trash, than make, $10 an hour working at sexy Starbucks where everybody's hipster and shit like that. You're gonna be laughing all the way to the bank, my friend. So for people who will criticize you, just remember, those are always people who are. Don't worry about them. They'll never be your competition. Your competition won't say anything to you. The people you should worry about life are the ones, it's just like I learned. I used to run a lot of nightclubs. Never worry about a dude who's talking a lot of trash, like yelling. And sometimes you do. Worry about the quiet guy who you piss off, who just gets out of his chair and starts walking to you and he ain't saying shit. That's the guy that's gonna knock you out in a second. If some guy jumps around like, come on, let's start, and his friends are holding him back, that dude's a punk, trust me. And it's the same in business. When you're gonna launch something, people are gonna say stuff, it's all your broke friends are gonna be like, oh, so now you think you can do a business. Be like, just forget about them. Worry about your silent competitor who's sitting there when you go to sleep and they're working harder and they're networking better and they have access to better tools. That guy or girl is going to take you out. Now, think about problems you have. What's a problem that you have? Maybe you don't have enough energy. Let's just say some real problems you have in your life. Just throw some out. Let's take some. What's a problem that you have in your life right now? You're lazy. Okay. So let's say you're lazy. There's a guy who said, I'm going to solve that problem, and he made a little teeny syrupy drink, got all these gas stations to have them, and he called it 4-Hour Energy, and he's a billionaire now. I don't know if he was lazy, but that'd be a great, if you're lazy, 4-Hour Energy going to help you a little bit, or some, is it 5 hour? Sorry, not 4 hour. 5-Hour Energy. Somebody said, sleeping issues. Boom, that's going to be $1 billion business, sleep aids. Figure out how to solve the problem for yourself and then package it up as a product to sell other people. Lack of startup capital. You can't find capital to start your business. Boom, make a website that's like Kickstarter. Sell a course. Make a podcast, they're free, on your journey, the ups and the downs of you raising capital. Great story. Have you ever seen that show Super Size Me with Morgan Spurlock, a TV show? He wanted to explore and figure out, what happens if he eats well and doesn't eat well. So he ate a whole bunch of McDonald's food. Then guess what? He made a movie out of it. That movie, I think Super Size Me made $50 million, and it only cost him like $1 million to make that movie. Look that up. Look up Super Size Me Mojo. Just Google it. It'll tell you how much. I think it cost $1 million and did $50 million. Another person says college tuition. Boom. Make a business that helps people get through college for less money, helps them find grants and all that. Okay, the next thing. That's 20 million? So the movie cost 65,000, sorry, and it did 20 million. That's box office. They probably, with all the other rights, they probably did at least another 10 mil. So he spent 65,000 and made 20 to 30 million bucks. That ain't bad, because he didn't have a big P&A marketing budget or anything like that. The next way that you can launch something that you would do anyway is you would solve your own problems, right? Another one is a business around what you've won at, where your big wins are. What are your big wins in life? You know, Bradley Martin, if you guys follow him on Instagram, he's a friend of mine. He's a huge, like really strong bodybuilder, power lifter type guy. He built a business around what he's winning at. And so he has a fitness company, he has a fitness line, he has a food delivery business. That's what he's winning at. So you can make a business around your problems, okay? Around your wins. So who has something they're winning at? Let's talk about it real quick. By the way, I'm gonna go here in a little bit because it's starting to get cold and it's also starting to get dark. I don't want to do it when it's too dark. And but I'm gonna show some of you. I'm gonna open up these applications. Some of you, the next 4 months is gonna be the most important months of your life because you fill out an application today, get into my accelerator, which is a home study course. It's basically what you're seeing now, but more in depth, step by step. You can watch it on your phone, 3 times a week. Logged in. It's a private, members only website that you get access to. A whole program that takes you and teaches you how to make more money, how to improve the quality of your lifestyle, all those things. So I'll open that up in a little bit. For those of you who get in the program, next 4 months, it's April 2016. First day of April. You got 4 more months. April, May, June, July. That's no time. You pay attention to what I'm talking about. Can change your life. Somebody said, "Ty, I'm still doing the 67 steps." You can do both. This is different than 67 steps. So what are you winning at? Somebody put fitness. Somebody said they're a dancer. Somebody said they're great at skateboarding. Somebody said they're great at sales. Man, if you're great at sales. Mark Cuban was over here the other day and we were talking about it. He said if he lost all his money, he'd just go back into sales. Boom. Somebody said a problem in their life. There are over $100,000 in student debt. Well, you're not the only one. You can use that story of your problem and show how you turn that into a win, and you record it, and you can do online education, you can make a movie, a documentary, you can do a blog about it, you can do social media, Instagram, you can Vine it. All that stuff can give you an edge, like we talked about. Being creative, basketball, poker. My friend was just over, he made $8 million. This is his lifetime published earnings in poker. Not bad, right? He's just turned 30. He's already made 8 million bucks doing what he would do anyway. And that's just his published earnings. Usually, I don't know how much he's actually made, but usually poker players, if you've won 8 million in tournaments, you've won some cash games and other stuff. Alana says she's great at event organization, deep thinking. Cool. One other thing that not many people think about. What's another area to launch around? Somebody said they're a chess master making 50 grand a month. That's good. Somebody said healed yourself and you had 4-stage lung cancer 5 years ago and you healed yourself. Well, if you know techniques on making people with cancer feel better, you can make a lot of money with that. Bernardo said he's good at planning 2-week vacations in Europe for under $2,000. There's a business there. There's a travel blog. There's a travel Instagram. There's a, online education company waiting to be born right there. The other thing, and not many people think about this, it's build around your allies, okay? What I mean by that is I now not only look for problems to solve, wins, but I also look, who can I ally with and build a business overnight because they already have wins in an area. Teamwork, man. Oh, like Bill Gates said, he was the 17-time richest man. 17 years in a row, he was the richest man in the world, and he said he never did anything alone. That's one of his competitive edges. When everybody else tried to do it on their own, he said, let me find a few allies. He had Paul Allen, and then he had Steve Ballmer, and he's continued. Now he's allies with Warren Buffett with his charity, and that has allowed him to be at the pinnacle and do, you know, Bill Gates, my favorite line from Bill Gates, he goes, sometimes I like to pretend that this whole world exists just for me. And if that's true, things are going pretty well. That's what he said about himself. He's had an awesome life. He's done everything he ever wanted to do. He's launched things that he would have done anyway. He likes technology. He likes solving hard problems. He would have done it anyway. He solved a problem in his life. He built around his wins, and he had allies. And so I hope some of you are, even if you're an existing entrepreneur, I hope if you're an existing entrepreneur, you're going to build something in the next 30 days, something new. Something new. I'm going to give you the fifth one last. Let me just add one quick thing. I'm going to open up the accelerator in a second, and then at the end I'll give you the fifth one is very important one. But I'll make sure I don't get off without talking about that. But one thing that I was going to tell you, and the reason that I said I might launch 300 businesses or 365 businesses in a year, it's not just to write a book. It's because you have to live an exciting life at the end of the day. And I'm not saying everybody needs to live what my version of exciting is. My version of exciting, you watch my Snapchat, you can see the things that I think are exciting. I like, you know, hanging out with interesting people. I like doing some celebrity stuff. I like doing some stuff with old friends. I like, you know, travel. I'm going to Vegas tomorrow, speak at a conference, play a little bit of poker. I like, by the way, who's going, Nathan, to, oh, is he not here? I like to have cool cars. I like a cool place to live. I like to play basketball. I like jujitsu. I like to go out, go to clubs sometimes. I like beauty. You can tell it's not just beautiful women. I like beauty overall. But what I really like is a little bit of excitement. And like I said, your version of life doesn't have to be my version, but you need some excitement. And most people that I meet, they're just boring, man. Everything's boring about them. Everything's boring about their life. They're not pioneering new things. They're not even trying. They have a lot of ideas in their head, but they always procrastinate on them. And, you know, a lot of people struggle with depression. Whenever I Snapchat anything about depression, so many people write me back and snap me privately and like, doom, 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 like, and I go, you know what? We live in a very depressed world. I read a statistic that says at least 30% of people deal with depression. That's a third. And that's reported depression. Who knows what the real number is? You know, not everybody tells. Sometimes when you're depressed, you don't talk to anybody. And I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist, so I'm not going to give you what I think is I don't know the answers for things. I try to speak on the things I understand. But I'll tell you this. One thing that helps with depression is excitement in your life. One thing that helps is not regretting, is not having so much regret. People have a lot of regret because they never try anything interesting. Most people are petrified by fear and their own lack of motivation and their own high levels of procrastination. Don't do it. It's a freaking trap. And that trap, there's a friend right now, an acquaintance that dealing with, I just found out, has all these serious mental problems. And it's funny, 5 years ago, I told somebody, I said, this dude, we've known him since I was a teenager. I told my other friend, this dude is gonna go insane one of these days. And my friend's like, why do you say that? And I said, because he knows what he should do and he never does it. And what happens in your brain is when you know what you should do, you know you could be doing more, but you don't even try, you either become a little bit delusional or you become a little bit crazy. That your brain doesn't know how to cope with it. And my other theory, and this is just a theory, I might be wrong completely, but my other theory